All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome into today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast. We're really excited to be with you. Happy New Year, of course. Happy New Year. We're going to be joined by Eric Galko today. He's the guy who is in charge of getting all these folks for the East-West Shrine Bowl. It is draft season, and we'll get you ready for Washington. It may be Trey Lance season. All those things and more starting. Meow. All right, saddle up, you sons of biscuits. It is time for a DLLS Cowboys Podcast. We're back with the first show of 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome in. Let's party. Thank you for being with us. We do have a lot of things going on. We'll get you ready for the game against the Washington Commanders. Will it look like preseason game number 4, or are we going to play some real football? Good night, sweet prince. Again, Zeke has been released by the Cowboys again. Look forward to doing this again in 2027. When they bring him back with a different jersey number, try to sell some more. That'll be fun.
2027?
I don't know. Why not bring him back again? You brought him back once when he couldn't play. What's to stop you from doing it again? He's still popular.
All right.
His farewell tour.
Hi, I'm Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holly.
Oh, Jesse Holly went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Next to him is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Clarence Hill.
If you want to win, put pop up. I'm here. I almost had a heart attack yesterday watching Texas, Arizona.
Oh, my gosh.
I need you guys to wrap up the targeting conversation by 5 p.m. today. Move on to the Cotton Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Best not to worry about it. Best not to worry about it. Worry about the whooping you got coming.
We got no whooping coming. We got no whooping coming. That was a trap game.
You told him not to rile you up, and you going to rile him up.
Coming.
I will say, I believe that game is the natty.
Ain't no
Texas, Ohio State is going to determine the national champion.
We're going to be healthy. We're going to be ready to go. We're going to be focused.
You're going to get whooped.
Nope.
Wow.
Next to Clarence, who's going to get whooped, is
No.
Our analyst, Texas Nose Queen, Aisha Morrison. There's 2 Aisha. In the chat, what are we going to do now? Zeke's gone. Please hit the like button. Make sure that you're subscribed.
Being facetious.
Jesse, what comes next for this team without Ezekiel Elliott's leadership?
The end is near.
For the whole damn organization?
Whole damn organization.
Ain't that about it?
The end is near. No Zeke, how will we go on?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Clarence, anything that you want to throw? Because I think I know why he got let go now instead of just waiting a week. I know, at least in my brain. But you are, you're the man with all the people, so you can tell us what's going on here.
It's funny.
It better be funny.
It better
be
it's New Year's Eve. It's 3 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And my friend Justina Anderson, we're all asleep at the wheel. It's New Year's Eve. Players' day off. Nobody's tripping, thinking about any roster moves. Certainly they had turned it into the league. And Justina Anderson was initially reported that the Cowboys were releasing Ezekiel. Like, what? Then everybody got these text messages, all the people that, newsbreakers who reached out to Cowboys. We did this so Zeke could sign with a playoff team. Zeke wanted his
Which
release.
playoff team you think he's going to sign with?
Detroit Lions, who? Philadelphia Eagles, who? You tell me.
It's going to be an AFC team.
But Zeke,
he's not signing with anyone.
Zeke asked for his release, and the Cowboys honored his release out of the respect for everything he's done for the organization, his history.
All right.
Organization. Common sense says he probably was not going to be active this Sunday anyway.
Yeah, that's what happened.
For sure.
You get to go home a week early because
why you honored it, why the Cowboys honored it, and he certainly didn't have to suffer not being active and then being asked questions. I know we haven't really talked to Zeke since mid-season. He has not been made available. Certainly now this final week, Zeke, so tell me how the season's been. How have you handled this whole situation?
Well, I got suspended once. I've been the worst running back in the league for 2 years, and it wasn't the best. I mean, shout out to Zeke because, I mean, he did go from being a huge name that everybody wanted to talk to all the time, and he quietly accepted the role that he had, as far as we know anyway. Mm-hmm. And like, shout out to him. Seemed like for the most part he was a professional, except for maybe 1 week where they had to tell him you're not allowed to get on the plane. Stop complaining. But that makes all the sense in the world to me that they're going into their very last game of the season. The season is absolutely positively over. It's going to look like a preseason game. Hey, Zeke, you're not going to be active. Like, we're probably going to hand Deuce Vaughn the ball a bunch. And it's like, well, then why do I have to be here? And it's like, fair point. You can go.
I got a question for you Cowboys historians. 2-time NFL rushing champ. 3rd all-time leading runner in franchise history.
The answer's no.
The Ring of Honor?
The Ring of Honor.
Oh, maybe.
The Ring of Honor.
I thought you were going the other way.
No.
Yeah, Jerry loves him, so maybe.
I didn't think you was going to go that far.
No, I'm not crazy.
Ring of Honor makes sense.
Does it?
Some sense.
Is he a Ring of Honor guy? I'm asking you, what does the Ring of Honor stand for?
Is it going to be no for
it's
other
supposed to be a
reasons?
Hall of Fame resume, according to Jerry.
Is it going to be no for other reasons? But
because, like, the Ring of Honor.
Is Romo a Ring of Honor guy?
What's honorable?
Like, from this group, like,
uppity.
where Witten,
Can you
Martin,
tell the story of the
Tyron.
Cowboys? Can you tell the story of the Cowboys with or without Zeke?
Well, you probably could do that without the last. I mean,
yeah, you can tell the story of the Cowboys without Tyron and Zach Martin too, but I think they're Ring of Honor guys, right?
You can tell the story without.
Well, I think those guys are different only because they're offensive linemen. And they don't get much fanfare as it is.
But I think you can tell the story of the Cowboys of the last decade. You can't tell the story of this current state of the Cowboys affairs without Zeke.
You can't tell their history of bad decision-making without Zeke.
Exactly.
Y'all are going to jail.
Need another Ring of Honor. A bad decision of honor.
No.
Ring of Honor.
2-time NFL rushing champ. Okay. 2-time NFL rushing champ.
You know who he is?
3rd all-time leading runner in franchise history. You know and he's not a Ring of Honor guy?
You know who he is?
Who?
He's Dez. Is Dez a Ring of Honor guy? For 2 to 3 years, Dez was a top 3 receiver in football, and it was a little bit short-lived.
So that's a good point.
I mean, I agree.
That's a good.
I agree with the point.
Yeah.
I just think that the numbers side more with Zeke because, again, 2-time NFL. Dez was never the leader of NFL or anything like that.
Touchdowns.
Okay, touchdowns. But I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you don't understand.
Dez owned
no one
career
says,
record in touchdowns for the Cowboys, right?
NFL touchdown leader. Leading rusher, leading passer, leading. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same stat.
Yeah, but we're talking about team stuff though. This is the Ring of Honor for the team.
Oh, I agree.
Right?
I agree. When I was parsing Dez and Zeke, I'm saying the 2-time NFL leading rusher is more important, at least a bigger stat than say if he led the league in receptions or led the league in yards, leading the league in touchdowns.
And Dez is the all-time touchdown reception in Cowboys history.
Yes, he passed Witten.
In Cowboy history.
73, 72, 71.
Yeah.
It's Dez, Witten, Hayes in receiving touchdowns. And Zeke's got to be 2nd or 3rd in rushing touchdowns.
No, he's 3rd.
He's behind Dorsett
he's trying to get Dorsett this year, right.
I don't think that's a ring. Like, I feel like his personality and how big a story he was
you can
around
argue
here.
it, but it doesn't mean it's
valid. And which is also why I brought up Romo, because Romo ended his career as a team's all-time leading passer.
Yeah, that don't count.
Bye.
Because so is Dak, and so is the next guy, and so is the next guy.
I'm talking about the guys that are,
Arch Manning's going to be the all-time leading
and so
passer.
Danny White was the all-time leading passer as well when he retired, but he did not make the Ring of Honor. So it's just a curious conversation because, when guys leave, you have to put stock in where they fit in franchise history and the way Zeke came in and the fanfare and the attention he got.
And the wild thing is it's up to Jerry's interpretation.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? So,
the
way he loves Tony Romo would lend to believe
that he would put him in.
He will put him in.
And if you put him in, then I think Dez and Zeke can come along.
I don't know.
Then what?
Because that's where you've moved the bar to now.
Then what's
We've
honor
moved
rule?
the
That's what I
bar.
was about to say,
No, but the bar is.
And now Dak's in.
See, we don't move the bar. Jerry moves the bar.
does.
Like, Jerry decides.
Yeah, we ain't.
Like, he decides. Like, this is all about. Because For how long did we hear in some fight publicly, privately about, hey, dog, what's up with Jimmy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it only took 100 years.
Right. Like, and there was no one who had a quote unquote
that
the
was
number.
personal.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
My point is he decides
Right.
what the barometer is.
And when.
And when.
Lord have
So
mercy.
to us, we could be like, oh, does he deserve to be? Doesn't Jerry's like, you know what? I like him better. I'm going to go with him. You, not so much. It gives me a little headache.
So, yeah, I mean, like, with the whole Zeke leaving thing, it just kind of ties into, obviously we've been talking about draft and all this stuff. You're going to be starting from scratch, it feels like, almost, if Rico.
Well, we can bring Zeke back if we want. He'll
He'll
be available.
Ooh, what I'm saying is, do you expect for Deuce Vaughn to be on this roster?
What?
No idea. Do we expect for Hunter Lipke to be here next year? Maybe. But, like, you're starting from scratch with your running back room again. This is kind of like not a fresh slate in a way, but I do think, like, him being out of the room changed some decision-making and stuff like that moving forward.
I don't think you're starting from scratch because you got Rico.
No, yeah, I know. I get that
if
part.
you sign him.
But yeah, he's a free agent as well, though. So you are
starting
starting from scratch in a sense. You got to build that room. Like, there's no like right now, you don't know what your foundation of your running back room is going to be. We're talking about Rico, but also given what Rico has experienced here, what he experienced this year, not really even getting the start until later in the season. Who's to say? You mentioned this, Jesse, about the coaching. Who's to say he wants to come back here? And again, like, I'm not saying I think Rico's market is going to be crazy or nothing. Like, let's be honest. But who's to say he wants to return to Dallas after, bruh? It took y'all forever to, and you and I both know, if you know Rico, he was vocal about what he felt like he should be doing, that he felt like he should be playing a long time ago, last year even. So he might be fed up with the situation. So you might be starting from scratch. That's all I'm saying.
That'd be fun if everybody left. If it was just finally the year that, like, Rico was like, they offered me a comparable contract, but the way that they treated me was dumb.
It's possible.
They were selling jerseys instead of winning football games, and then Mike McCarthy's like, by the way, the Bears want me, so I'm going there. Jerry wants me to sign a 1-year deal. I'm about tired of this place. That'd be fun to watch that sort of thing happen.
It's possible. I mean, players make their own decisions.
I think a lot of these guys, I hear the frustration, and everybody's frustration about their current situation they're in, but Rico's the guy now, and he understands the history of running backs. And I think if he has a chance to stay, he would want to stay.
Is he the guy until a rookie comes in here and then the rookie's the starter and he's the secondary guy? I'm telling you, he's tired of being the secondary guy.
He will be the secondary guy everywhere he goes. He's not going anywhere. I mean, when you're undrafted,
no, you're right.
That's your life.
Yeah.
That's his life.
No, I get
and
that.
You can be mad about it or whatever else. You're always going to be challenged for your roster spot because there's no investment in you. So that's the life you live. But we were talking to Jordan Lewis yesterday. He said, yeah, I would like, to come back. Mm-hmm. My kid was born here. My wife likes it here. Yeah, I want to get paid, but I would also like to come back. I think, when guys, they have situations that they're comfortable being at home. They don't want to move if they don't have to.
But he did also said, this is a business.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's always a business. It's going to come down to that. But, when you look at state taxes, again, we're talking about guys who are not going to get Dak and Zeke and CD money, So $1 million here, $1 million there compared to uprooting your family, that's a different decision.
I'm thinking about going to PHLY when my contract's up. See if we can't talk about a winning team. You know what I'm saying?
PHLY, huh?
Yeah. Just thinking about trying something.
Head to DNVR.
Go a little DNVR.
DNR.
I'll go to PHNX. See who's next.
All right.
Quarterback over there.
What's
no state tax out there.
But Kyler and I would probably be best friends. I mean, I walked so that he could run at Allen High School.
Y'all get him out of here.
Without me, there is no Kyler. I put that city on the map.
You're so this close, huh?
I was this close to putting that city on the map.
You are sick.
No, he didn't say that.
You're sick.
It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. I was about number 4.
He didn't say NFL. He said the city.
Put Allen, Texas on the map. I built that stadium.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Please hit the like button, get subscribed. We do have the Shrine Bowl coming to town, the East-West Shrine Bowl College Football All-Star Game. And Dion will be there. Shedeur will be there. And we'll talk to one of the guys that made that happen, Eric Galko. That is next on the Cowboys DLLS Podcast.
We are here. 2025 has come upon us. Feels so good. And you want to put your best floor forward.
Yes, you do.
In the new year of 2025.
Okay.
You see that right there? That's
Yes, you
professional
do.
right there.
Yes, you do.
But how you do this is you go over to EmpireToday.com. Use the promo code DLLS. You get $350 off. Flooring. When you walk into a home, one of the first things you see is the flooring. And if your flooring is looking right, then we listen and we don't judge. But if your flooring is not looking right, we'll judge you.
I will judge you.
We'll
silently.
Yeah.
Silently.
I'm going to judge you publicly and outwardly to your face. And you may not invite me back, but that's your fault because you could have had better flooring. If you just went down and visited our friends at EmpireToday.com, use the promo code DLLS and got $350 off flooring. Get your floors right in the year 2025. Don't half step. Call Empire or go to EmpireToday.com.
All right, let's also talk about our friends at Sleeper, who I love so much. I spend more time on that app than probably anything else in the world. It is the best fantasy league platform out there, but don't worry about that right now. Also worry about the picks that you can make while you're on Sleeper. And this week will be fun for the Cowboys because once we figure out what in the world they're going to do, I'm about to be going Jonathan Mingo more than receiving yards, Deuce Vaughn more, Trey Lance.
Oh, my God.
Oh, we're going to have a time on Sleeper this weekend. They're not going to know what numbers to put in there. But we are really smart about sports, so we'll know. So you put your ball knowledge to the test by picking if players are going to have more or less than their projected stats each week. That's what you do. The more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. That is with our friends at Sleeper. So if you know what you're doing, new users, you can download the Sleeper app, use the code DLLSBOYS. You'll get $55 in free entries. When you place a $5 contest, apply it to any contest. Doesn't have to be your first one. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Operational in over 25 states. All right. We are onward into segment 2 of the broadcast. Katya. Are we mentally and physically prepared? There he is. Ha ha. We would like to welcome in, I don't know how comfortable I could be with the word friend. My internet friend. We've had conversations on the internet before. So welcome to my friend, Eric Galko, the Director of Football Ops Player Personnel for the East-West Shrine Bowl.
We dropped him.
He saw my face and he said, F this. I am out. The Shrine Bowl will be played at the end of the month at AT&T Stadium. And we will have some big names here for the East-West Shrine Bowl, including Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders. So it'll be a wonderful time. And it's a great place to go try to find the guys that are going to be the next stars of your Dallas Cowboys because it's a college football all-star game. You like to be up in the mix and see that thing. So we will talk to Eric Galko. He's their Director of Football Ops, responsible for figuring out who in the world do we need to get to this game? Who do we need to display to the world and the NFL coaching staffs that are going to be the guys that help these NFL teams win football games? And so we'll talk to him when we get him in his little box. He quit?
Yep.
He quit the show?
He was frozen for a second, so he's probably just...
At AT&T, what's your go-to concession?
Cowboy Rita.
Cowboy Rita.
Yeah, the Cowboy Rita. It goes hard.
Can I have I got a funny story. I got a funny
Wait a
story.
second.
Better be funny.
I got a funny story.
I've already given you one pass today. It better be funny or I'm pinching you.
This is typical Jerry Jones. So when they were building the stadium, we were all there with the hard hats at the stadium.
Oh, it is funny the East-West Shrine Bowl is being played in the only football stadium that runs east to west.
Carlos Nava from, I think it's with ESPN, used to be with Dallas Morning, said, Jerry, what do you have in this stadium that's been good for the Mexican fans? They was in, Vacos, they Cowboys, all that.
No, they don't.
Jerry,
what accidentally racist thing did Jerry say?
Jerry said,
Yo, please.
got those Cowboy Ritas.
No!
I will never forget that language. You got
Cowboy
those
Ritas.
Y'all, please. At least the only good thing is that it was actually funny, but for the love of muffins.
Got those Cowboy
We got
Ritas.
those Cowboy Ritas.
Clarence, you actually said something funny. All right, let's
Yeah,
go.
that was funny. That was funny.
We're getting ready for the East-West Shrine Bowl, and so we welcome in my friend. No, we don't, Eric!
No.
Katya, is this you? Are you doing this?
Get back to those Cowboy Ritas.
Are you doing this?
Y'all.
Does Jerry have tacos at AT&T?
Oh, yeah, they got a good taco. They
got
got
nachos.
They got a good taco stand. Yeah.
Is it the Rangers Stadium that has Hurtado's?
Yeah, Hurtado's
So I
barbecue.
went
That's
there.
out there. Okay, we're gonna try this.
barbecue.
All right,
We're
here we
gonna try
go.
this. We're gonna try this, Eric.
There we go.
We want to welcome in our friend Eric Galko of the East-West Shrine Bowl, the Director of Football Ops and Player Personnel. Katya, tell us about the Shrine Bowl. You're
All
on
right,
Camera, Katya. Katya, tell us about the Shrine Bowl.
Katya's on the
Lean back over here. We can't see.
lean
you.
back. Lean back.
Jesse, what are your thoughts on the Shrine Bowl?
Oh, we got him. Here we go. Here we go.
Here.
Eric, are you there?
Can't hear him.
Eric, are you there?
Can't hear him.
Eric, are you there?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That's racist.
He's not.
Eric, are you there? Katya's back. Scan the QR code. Tickets start at $20 at shrinebowl.com. And I do love the Shrine Bowl. I love that it's going to be here. It's going to be. It's been in a lot of different places. Clarence remembers it being in San Francisco in the 1930s.
Bye. No, I mean,
you guys are going to hell with gasoline draws.
No, the Shrine is cool though, because I feel like I enjoy going to the practices and being able to watch some of the one-on-ones and stuff like that. And there's guys that are good there. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, I know we love the Senior Bowl, but there are guys that go to the Shrine Bowl and get attention. And I know that I talked about quite a few of them. I mean, literally the starting center for the Steelers went to the Shrine last year.
Rico Dowdle's a Shrine Bowl guy.
Yeah.
Hit the button and see what happens.
There he is. Can he hear us, though?
Hey,
can you talk?
There it is. All right.
All right, this is Eric Galko. He's my internet friend. We talk on the internet, and now we're talking in person. And so the East-West Shrine Bowl will be at AT&T Stadium this year. We will have Deion and Shedeur Sanders in town, which is badass. So congrats, Eric, on getting that done. And, just set the scene for us, as I love me some Shrine Bowl because I love the NFL draft and I love seeing the future of your NFL teams with those guys out there working with NFL guys. So set that stage for us about being in Arlington, being at AT&T, and all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate you having me on, Jeff, and thanks to all you guys for having me on today. Shrine Bowl, it's its 100th year this year. 100 years of the East-West Shrine Bowl being around, so it's a pretty special, momentous occasion. Having the game itself at AT&T Stadium felt like the right venue for such a historic event for the game. And we've had guys like Walter Payton and Mean Joe Green, to Tom Brady, to Brock Purdy, and now to Shedeur Sanders and a lot of his teammates at Colorado as well, too. So it's going to be an awesome 100th year anniversary, and obviously another big uptick for us in terms of quality of players, first-round draft, et cetera, at the Shrine Bowl this year.
So the game has been in California, it's been in Vegas, it's been around a lot of places, and now it's here in the DFW in Arlington. Is this the permanent home for the East-West Shrine, or can you see this thing moving around some more? I think it should be the permanent place for the game.
We've loved Dallas, man. It's been awesome. And obviously not just the Jones family and the Dallas Cowboys as a team and as an organization being so supportive of us being here, but we've really seen the culture of Frisco, Arlington, Dallas, the whole area, high school teams, high school coaches, local colleges wanting to be involved and seeing it. So it's kind of an obvious statement that Dallas is such a great location for a football event, but we've seen it in the small things of the event, not to mention how many players, including guys like Shedeur Sanders, being from Dallas or the Dallas area originally, too. So it's certainly a great place. We hope to be here long-term as well, too, but a lot of factors at play for sure. But Dallas has been a fantastic home for the last 2 years and hopefully more in the future.
Eric, the Cowboys aren't very good, and they sometimes refuse to sign free agents also, and they haven't drafted as well as they usually do lately, which means that we can now draft literally any position we want in every round because we need it all. Who are some of the biggest names, the highest projected picks, some of the guys to keep an eye on in the East-West Shrine Bowl?
A lot more to come soon, too. Certainly the playoff games running now, and we can have juniors at the All-Star games for the last 2 years, too, so some really big names there as well. Certainly a guy like Shedeur Sanders will be potentially our top player drafted. I'll leave that kind of breadcrumb there. But certainly he'll be a first-round pick along with a couple of guys at the Shrine Bowl as well, too. But we've had a lot of great players. You mentioned a lot of positions of needs. Running back a year ago, if a team took one of our best running backs, that might have been Tyrone Tracy and Isaac Arendo. This year we've got all those two guys. Marcus Yarns at Delaware is a really athletic dual threat, running and pass catching back out of the backfield. Corey Kiner at Cincinnati, more of your kind of Rico Dowdle type, a guy who could do a lot of different things, but really an effective inside running back as well too. Receivers, tight ends, et cetera too. So it's going to be one of our best, if not our best, draft class. And knock on wood, we've had an increase in draft picks every single year. And I think the Cowboys that maybe need a lot of information, a lot of guys for this year's draft class can find a whole bunch of them at the Shrine Bowl this year.
Eric, you guys will have complete control of the stadium. And the question that a lot of people want to know.
Can we do a rodeo?
No, we're not doing the rodeo. Okay. If
oh no, curtains.
If the sun is shining a little bit too bright,
Don't be careful here.
Will
Protect
you
your relationship
put
with Jerry.
curtains up for the game?
We'll be playing at 7 p.m.
Okay, that's great. That's perfect.
So that won't be a problem this year.
So as you guys continue,
thanks for saving me there, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You don't want to listen. Eye crossing because it's fun. You don't need to do that. Shrinebowl.com, is that where we should keep up with? Because as you mentioned, we've still got teams playing college football, and when you start adding more big names, is that where we will find them as they come out?
Yeah, social media as well. Shrine Bowl at Shrine Bowl on social media. Certainly, I'll be retweeting them as well on my account at Eric Galko, and then Shrinebowl.com has all of our accepted invites. And we're excited now that it's January, now that the calendar's turned and we're less than 3 weeks away. We'll start releasing more information on players coming. Obviously, juniors and guys in the play will be announced soon as well. We'll do our roster reveal show as well too. So a lot more information coming for sure. But we've had, like I said, Shedeur Sanders, Siobhan Ravel, many top first-round players so far, and more to come for sure.
Eric Galko, hell of a scout, and now the director of player personnel for the Shrine Bowl. Congratulations on what you guys continue to build this thing into, and we will look forward to finding our way to being part of it since it's going to be here. Thank you, Eric.
Look forward to having you guys down there. Appreciate it.
That's Eric Galko. He's a sweet man. We got Shedeur and Dion.
Sent them away too fast. I had 2 more questions.
Oh, what did you want? I'll answer them. What do you got?
I wanted to hear more about the Shriners Children's, like the charity part of it.
I think we're going to have him back on, aren't we? We're going to have him on more leading up to the game.
Well, like that. And then I was thoroughly impressed. Quarter zip, button up quarter zip. Went with the T-shirt underneath.
Wait, button up quarter zip?
He had the button up quarter zip. Like he had buttons on his quarter zip. It wasn't a zip.
Okay, so it's a quarter button.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's
a quarter button.
Because
that's right.
Means...
I just thought like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I got you. Nah, you're right. You're right. He had the quarter button.
Yeah,
I've never called it a quarter button though. Never even seen really a quarter button, but he had the quarter button.
So he had a long sleeve button up shirt
and a T-shirt.
It was a T-shirt,
but a quarter button.
So we don't expect for some of those top gentlemen to play, right?
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I know you'll get a lot of times what'll happen at the All-Star games is like the teams are most interested in the week of practice.
Yes,
they want to watch the players interact with the NFL coaching, and they want to see how they take all of those things. And so a lot of guys, like I remember one of the college All-Star games I was at where it was like, hey, Baker's here. And he didn't play in the game, but people want to have them there that week and be around them, and you'll have access to them. And Shrinebowl.com is where you can get tickets for the Shrine Bowl, and those tickets start at $20. So hit them up.
Will sleepers have
Shrine Bowl stats?
Well, I just want to know what the odds be. Can we, if Shedeur's not going to play, can we go on sleepers and pick what brand of watch that Shedeur might have?
Wow.
No, it's numbers. No, it's numbers based.
Oh, numbers?
It's off stats.
How many chains will he have on?
Yeah,
I guess it could be a stat.
How many chains?
I don't know. That sounds like a prop, and prop sounds like bets, and sleeper is a daily fantasy site where you're making picks.
There you go.
Can we think about a fantasy of how many chains he has on that I would want to wear one day?
That's not a fantasy of mine.
You know who's happy that Shedeur is going to be there, and maybe some of those other guys, those players, those wide receivers and stuff, to get some good looks in practice, because last year that was the biggest thing, was like the quarterback play wasn't good enough for these guys to kind of showcase what they could do when they were running plays and stuff like that. It was just, so I do think that it is going to be helpful for them to have a guy that can be accurate and on time to let some of these players put on display what they're capable of.
And the Colorado receivers are going to be there. Not Travis Hunter, I don't believe.
Yeah, Travis Hunter's not committed anywhere yet.
Right. When I was watching Travis Hunter on tape, I started writing down other numbers. I'm like, these other receivers got something. So, like, Horn is going to be Shrine Bowl. LaJonte Webster, basically the Colorado receiving core, not named Travis Hunter, will also be part of
the and we'll also, let's pump the brakes. We don't know how much Shedeur is going to practice.
Okay.
He's going to about to do the interviews and stuff like that, but we don't know if he's going to be at practice every day to help those guys out.
Well, okay.
Coming up next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast is segment 3, which means that there's a segment planned. I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to see what I wrote. It's going to be on my notepad. This game against Washington, what's that bad boy going to look like? Is it Trey Lance season? All of those sorts of things is next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast.
If your future, my future, our future is going to look bright in 2025, then maybe put on a little pair of shades to keep the sun out your eyes.
Yes.
But not just any pair of shades. Go over to ShadyRays.com and get you a pair of polarized sunglasses. And not only go over to ShadyRays.com and get you a pair of polarized sunglasses, get yourself 35% off those shades. The future's bright for you, beloved. So 35%, all you got to do is type in DLLS. Boom, they hit you with 35%. You can pick from an array of shades, of polarized, of colors, of styles. And if you don't like them, cool, because life is about change and options. Send them back. Shady Rays sends you back a new pair for free. Or if you're clumsy, slew-footed, heavy-handed, whatever it is, and you break them, it's no problem. Send them back free of charge. Shady Ray will get you right. Head over to ShadyRays.com, get you 35% off a pair of polarized glasses using the promo code DLLS.
Also, shout out to our friends at the East-West Shrine Bowl. We just talked to Eric Galko. Those tickets do start at just $20. It's going to be at AT&T Stadium on January 30th, and you can be a part of history. The 100th East-West Shrine Bowl at AT&T Stadium. Since 1925, the game has benefited Shriners' children in its mission to provide innovative pediatric specialty care to improve and transform the lives of children. You can see some of the nation's top college football players play in this head-to-head competition ahead of the NFL draft. Guys like Tom Brady have played there, Walter Payton, Roger Staubach, Lawrence Taylor, Doak Walker. I like to say it that way.
I got you.
Brock Purdy, Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Flowers, who just made a Pro Bowl, Brian Anger, Rico Dowdle, all those guys have been East-West Shrine Bowl guys. It's the starting point for a lot of noteworthy NFL careers, including 80 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tickets start at just $20. So go ahead and visit shrinebowl.com, and you can buy your tickets today. All right, guys. We're barreling towards a big game this week.
I love it.
Please.
The finale, baby.
Please.
Big game.
Grand finale.
Division game. Throw the records out the window when these two get together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Brawl
Now
for
you
it
got to
all.
throw them out the window.
You know?
Brawl for it all.
No, what I mean is light their records on fire for the Cowboys when it comes to this game. But I do wonder, like, what are we going to get out of the Cowboys? Because we've been going all of these weeks when only, I guess, a couple where they were officially eliminated. Or has there only been one when they were actually officially eliminated? But they were eliminated 8 weeks ago. They were eliminated when Dak got hurt. But they've continued to put that best foot forward and try their very, very best to win football games. Have we finally reached the point where we're here in the final? Is this thing going to look preseason-y, or are we trying our best, Clarence?
I think it's going to look preseason, and so everybody's the big question is quarterback. You know, and is this finally the time for Trey Lance?
Will Greer. Oh,
really?
Will Greer, yeah. Is he still here?
It's finally the time for Trey Lance. We had Trey Lance starting in Thanksgiving. Remember?
Thanksgiving, yep.
You had him starting Thanksgiving. It's finally the time for Trey Lance. One caveat. Now, Mike McCarthy's consistently, been close to the vest of who's going to start, but yesterday he said we're getting everybody ready to play, which is different than what he said the past couple of weeks when we're planning to win, and Cooper Rush will give us the best chance to win. And Trey Lance talked to us yesterday and basically said he has, at least as of yesterday, he wasn't given the word yay or no, nor nay, but of course they hadn't met yet. We talked to him before they had their first team meeting. And so he's prepared to play, and he's getting himself prepared to play. But one caveat, Cooper Rush gets $500,000 in incentives if he plays 55% of the snaps this season. Going into Sunday, he's played 52% of the snaps.
Oh, you got to bench him. You got to save that money.
And he needs to play most of all of the game to reach that incentive. Otherwise, he'll earn $250K for reaching the 45% mark. So if you care about those incentive type things,
I do.
Jared,
Does that count against the cap? I need that $250,000. What's that? Oh, I want to, according to Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports, according to Clarence Hill.
Exactly.
Of DLLS. Jeez. Anyway, if that $250,000 counts against the cap, I need it. So go ahead and bench Cooper. Save that money so that we can sign some big
why
players.
don't you want the guys to get their money, man?
I want everybody to get their money.
Okay, let Cooper get his money then.
And I want
$250 ain't that. It's a drop in the bucket.
Not to the Cowboys. Jerry and Steven are counting every penny. And try not to spend them.
Washington's playing for seeding, yes? They're still
trying
to
if they win, they're the 6th seed. If they lose and Green Bay wins, they would be the 7th seed. And I believe that they're going to try their best to win because currently Green Bay would travel to Philadelphia and Washington would go to L.A. to play the Rams. And I would much rather play the Rams. So they're playing to protect that.
Yeah.
If they lose and Green Bay wins against Chicago, who they should beat, then Washington, you would have to go play against your division rival in Philadelphia. And you don't want that. So Washington's coming in here to spank that
That's
ass.
what I was going to say. So we got another week of possibly being in the second quarter and being like, all right, guys, what you about to order to eat for dinner? Like,
God willing.
But every time we said they're going to get their butt spanked outside of Philadelphia, what have they done?
I think, but I think.
1 for 1 in the last week, though.
Okay. Every time we say they're going to get their butt spanked, they showed up and showed out.
It depends on who's active and who's not, because if you're a guy that's been not playing all season, or you've been on the practice squad, or whatever they do, they don't come. Those dudes gonna be hitting. Those dudes gonna be flying around.
One thing Jordan Lewis said last week was, every time talking about playing the young guys, what young guys we got on the roster they ain't played. I mean, they've all played.
I think
who
there's
they've been saying.
I mean, honestly,
they need to evaluate.
No one is going to, Clarence, you're a big believer in play the hits. Like, we're going to talk about the bigger name players as often as we can. But the answer to that question, honestly, is I think you're going to watch a bunch of Deuce Vaughn football, is what I think. Like
what?
Deuce Vaughn. I think you're going to watch a lot of Deuce Vaughn. Because I think that's why Zeke got released this week, is because they were like, dude, there's no point in you playing. You're going to be inactive. And he was like, and they were like, well, you could just, and he's like, yeah, I want to just go.
I thought that was a good point.
And then they're like, we can spin it as you're going to join a playoff team. And then he's like, yeah, that's what we'll do. Good luck. But yeah, I think you'll get a bunch of Deuce Vaughn.
Why not Dalvin Cook?
Ryan Flournoy. Because that's the opposite of having a point to it. And I did this on a YouTube show this morning. And I don't want to look.
He's gonna do it.
I'm going to say this with all due respect to all of you out there. If I stand somewhere for weeks, if I spend my own money to get there, trick people into getting a credential, and watch practice for y'all for weeks, and I tell you stuff about what I'm seeing, who in the do you think you are to get up in my comments and say, Zeke's awesome? I watched him every day and told you Rico can play and Zeke can't. And when they signed Dalvin Cook, when's Dalvin going to be ready? Why isn't Dalvin ready? Dalvin's washed. Like, what is it about people that if they know somebody's name, it's no, he's amazing. He's going to be great. Neither one has anything. Neither one ever had anything. They're washed.
That's the internet. The internet, Twitter, is the only place where you can go and tell Tiger Woods how to swing. The only place where you can go and tell a doctor how to do a surgery. The Twitter is the only place where you can tell a pilot how he should have landed or she should have landed the plane. That's is social media.
Okay, but
nobody cares about your 10,000 hours that you've done something, your 20,000 hours that you've done something. Nobody cares about the experiences that you spent. You know how much I have to sit there and listen to people tell me about routes and how routes should be run.
You know who y'all sound
after I've been around for doing this for 20-something years, and I'm like, you got it, brother.
You know who y'all sound like?
You.
That's funny. That's funny.
Old man yells at cloud.
That's you.
Me and Jesse.
Y'all sound like Jerry Jones. Y'all sound like Jerry Jones. I've been doing this for 30 years. Me and Steve been doing this. Who has more experience doing this? And you guys get on the radio and get on the internet and tell me how to do my job when I've been doing this for 30 years.
Okay, I got an idea then. I have a great idea.
I mean, that is his point, though. That's his point.
Here's what we're going to do.
Oh, goodness.
We need one person. Come get it. Do the show for a week. Jerry, come do the show for a week. It'll be great. Let me have yours for one off season. Boy, I'll bust your ass at GMing.
No.
Oh, I will GM so good. But he'll be so mad because he'd be like, wait, because you tell us we just spend up to the cap. We spend up to the cap. I'm going to spend up to the cap too. But I'm going to spend about $120 extra million in signing bonuses. And he ain't gonna be happy when he gets home because the bank account's gonna be a little lower.
No.
But we're gonna win some games.
But it's gonna come due like Philly next year.
Oh yeah, Philly, who has $70 million in
come
dead cap
We'll
space
talk
right
about
now.
that.
Why would you do this?
We got to go to a break.
No, we don't have to go to a break.
Oh, it's not break time.
No.
I'm just asking
if
you.
y'all don't let me run the breaks.
I'm asking you something.
Yeah.
Did you hear Stephen Jones the other day when he was asked about the Cowboys?
Yeah.
And compared to Philly and how they do business, because a couple years ago he ripped on the Rams and said they're going to come due, and because the Rams are back in the playoffs, won the division.
They had it down here.
He basically said Philadelphia is headed for salary cap hell. are they headed for salary cap hell, Jeff?
Even if they are, I want to head there too. If that gives me, let's go. Put the gasoline on my draws. Put the gasoline on my salary cap draws, and let's drive to hell.
It's been worth it for other teams because they get in there. Like the championship is what you should be seeking towards. Y'all seeking towards financial security for years that we ain't even gonna be alive for. You probably either. But I don't understand. Like to your point, that's what the Rams did. They said, "F it, we won a championship." That's what a lot of teams do. So that's how I feel. If we're gonna be in salary cap hell, fine. Figure it out.
Is he pocket watching? Why is he pocket watching the Eagles in the Rams?
Because he understands that they're winning despite what he is saying. He is literally trying to cover it up by saying that. It's just crazy to me. It's very deflecting.
Is that what you get, Jeff?
I have this pulled up. I just want
Jesse.
I want Jesse to be able to see
it.
He's
festering. He's about to
This
snap.
is the Philadelphia Eagles on overthecap.com. In 2024, they are currently paying $21.5 million to Hassan Reddick, who's not there.
Bye.
Jason Kelsey, who's retired, is costing them almost $9 million. Avonte Maddox, who's not there, is costing them almost $8 million. Fletcher Cox is costing them $4.2 million. Derek Barnett is costing them $4 million. Marcus Mariota is costing them $3 million, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's that total?
$63,254,423.
So that's a bill coming due. They are currently paying a $63 million bill this season that they're not allowed to spend towards the salary cap. So obviously they can't build a competitive team.
No, it's impossible.
They owe 63. I mean, the Cowboys number is like 20% of that. So the Cowboys should be able to add way more good players. They didn't because that's not how it works.
Hey, they're paying Will Greer $168,000.
Oh yeah, I think we're probably paying Zeke dead money for 2 different contracts.
We are. We are.
Double dipping.
Yes. The day that it turns out that Jalen Hurts sucks and they walk away from Jalen Hurts, they might eat $100 million for that one player. And when they do, because they're the Eagles, and if they feel like they can still compete, if they feel like they're in a bad place, they will absolutely eat it, have an awful year.
How much did Denver eat for the Russell Wilson?
$100 million, give or take. I think it was like 80. But if you feel like you're going to win, what they will then do, like they're paying $60 million something to those guys. And so what they do is they sign Saquon Barkley. You can't do that. You have all this money that you can't even. Saquon Barkley makes $13 million a year. It's a 3-year contract. Saquon Barkley will never count $13 million against their cap in those 3 years. It's 4, 6, 9. It's like, well, that doesn't work. Well, that doesn't work because they just say we'll deal with it later. They're going to account for that money when he's gone. And while they're accounting for that money, they're going to sign the next big guy who's going to make $50 million a year. And he's never going to count 50 on the cap until he's gone. And when he's gone, they're going to eat that $80 million, and they're going to take everyone on their team that makes, at this point in the NFL's future, everybody's going to be making $80 million. And instead, they're going to count 15 because we're eating yours while we push yours, and you keep pushing it if you want to win. You cowards, I hate you. I don't hate anybody. I think that everybody's so kind.
How do you struggle to navigate something that y'all said he helped create? I don't get it.
Well, he didn't create people manipulating the cap. Jerry just wanted the salary cap to ensure that they would have a certain percentage of all revenue would be profit for the teams. Then teams who wanted to compete began manipulating by moving money around and accounting around. Jerry would prefer not to because he would like that budget to be that salary cap to ensure that he makes his 54% or whatever. Other teams are making considerably less because they're aggressively team building and playing with economics. So I just want to be clear. Stephen Jones is lying to you.
You wasn't really good at Bible class, but this math thing, you can kind of got this math thing a little down.
And they're not technically lying to you. Yes, it becomes harder. The New Orleans Saints have put themselves in bad places multiple times with the salary cap. But if you're willing to continue to forestall and just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving and keep writing checks, you can. But if your team sucks and you're in that spot, yeah, you eat it for a year like the Rams did. And then you try again. So, yeah, you can put yourself in a bad spot with the salary cap. It's absolutely possible. The Eagles are very aggressive with it. There is a chance that they go through a year or two where they're like, well, we pushed back so much stuff and it all caught up at the same time and, oh, crap, this is tough. But as long as you want to extend it, you can keep extending it. The Cowboys chose not to extend theirs. And now they're going to pretend that other people are in trouble. Well, the people who are in trouble have 4 times more dead money than you do and keep adding players. So it sure looks like you're the one in hell when you're not. You're choosing. You went to hell on purpose. You opted for hell.
Oh, muffins.
With gasoline draws. With gasoline draws.
Stephen Jones is lying to you. Constantly. And y'all buy it and get mad at Dak. Shame on you. Shame on you people.
It's Dak's fault.
Shame.
Dak took all the money.
Send in your questions in the chat because we have one more segment left and I've got some things for it, but we might use your things as well. The DLLS Cowboys podcast rolls on next. We also want to encourage you to sign up to be a diehard. We thank you for being here. What?
What are you laughing about?
No, the transition was, yeah, I love it. Professional.
Clarence knows what he's doing.
You know he knows what he's doing, and you still fall for it.
I can't stop.
And you still fall for it.
It makes me sad. It makes me angry. And like the rant parts are just the rant parts, right? Like they're factually accurate, but also there is a chance that the Cowboys are doing this very intentionally because they didn't view this as a winning chance year anyway. And so it was like, well, let's line it up so we can get more and more aggressive coming up real soon. It's possible that's what they're doing. But once they sign nobody in free agency that's a big name to big money and instead go up to the salary cap limit with league minimum guys or 1-year contracts, like that is the sign of a team that wants to win on a budget.
Right.
Teams that want to win without a budget will get a $40 million player that's going to count the same against the cap this year as the 1-year, $5 million guy you signed. Which one do we think is trying to win the Super Bowl?
And that type of content is what you can find if you're a
diehard
and you're in the Discord. See, that type of interaction, that back and forth, that in-depth knowledge that you can get from old Hefe right here, got to be a diehard, though. Got to be a diehard.
Actually, that's for free. It was for free on the show.
That was for free on the show.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can get more of
You get access to Clarence, mostly. Aisha film breakdowns.
Yes.
Behind-the-scenes content.
Joe's stories. Joe's had a good story.
Joe's a great writer. Clarence is fine. Joe is an incredible writer.
The best.
Hit the super chat.
But we're in a break.
We're not in that.
Are we in the break still?
All deal. This is an untimed break, so it really doesn't. Just sign up. AllDLLS.com. Sign up to be a diehard. Join us in the Discord lounge. That wasn't about you. I was just saying this one's more of a freewheeling one until we're on TV.
We're gonna get you through this, bro.
I'm fine.
We're gonna make you a professional.
I'm professional.
We're gonna make you a professional.
I'm just saying. We was on a tangent. We was tangenting.
Vance is in the super chat. The sad fact is, to PC a Chris Rock joke, if JJ woke up with Clark Hunt or Joe, that's the Warriors owner guy, money and team, he would be very depressed about that. Oh, because the Chiefs aren't worth as much as the Cowboys. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they have their priorities. They have their goals. They have a lot of businesses they own. You gotta make sure that you're making money.
You know, we've heard a lot of talk this year coming into the season about a soft rebuild. You know, obviously Jerry's pushed back on that. Let's say this was a soft rebuild. Is the focus to win next year then? Or, it's one thing you do that. If you do that and we come into the season, you don't spend the money in free agency, you don't sign guys, you go into a soft rebuild, then next year should be the year, right?
If there's
next year should when you put the chips in and spend money.
If there's not urgency next year, then I don't know how to say it in a polite way.
Just say it because I feel
if they're not competing really hard and being competitive in free agency and trying to win next year, then everything they've done the last couple of years
has been for naught.
Yeah, that's better than saying they're absolute dumbasses that should not have a football team.
It's going to be very clarifying.
Because, like, the fact that you signed the quarterback again means that your window to win is with that quarterback.
Tracking.
And so you got to go. If they opt to do again next year, which is possible because they view, again, the Eagles have $63 million they can't spend this year, right? And so they figure out other ways to move other things to keep spending. The Cowboys have money again next year that they can't spend because of Zach Martin, Tank Lawrence, guys who won't be here that you're going to owe money to, plus another $9 for Michael Gallup, whatever. And And they could cry poverty again and say, we've got to get that off the books before we can start spending. And they could eat one of the giant DAC numbers instead of restructuring and then set themselves up with a cleaner sheet for the last
2 years.
2 years of Dak's contract and make a 2-year push.
But nothing is promised. You could get hurt again. It's and they have like $23 million in salary cap space now to roll over.
Yeah.
To take
and that
up
is
for,
to eat. Like that number matches up to what they're going to owe to Tank and Zach.
Right.
Martin.
So they prepare for that.
But hasn't Steven or Jerry come out kind of in the last couple of weeks and talked about how this upcoming offseason is going to be Steven is going to be similar to what it was?
Yeah, he said that.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that.
Do we believe it? The question.
I don't believe
it. And the thing about it is it's one thing
you got to start believing him at some point in time, right?
Again, we don't want to.
Again, they create these things certainly to talk to speaking to the fan base to help them understand when they don't go after guys. I think they're speaking to their players. The guys are free agents talking about you got to take less because of the pie. I mean, it's all mental manipulation in how they do that. But the bottom line is, say we understood last year because you had the big deals for Dak and CD. Mm-hmm. You only have Micah this year, and you have triggers that you can levers you can pull to create room with Dak and CD's contract.
A smart team would sign Tyler Smith this offseason too, and they would have already done Micah and whatever. You cannot not spend money because to me, how you handle this, the plan for this, we talked about Ben Johnson. Tell me what you did wrong and tell me how you're going to fix it. Right.
That's any coach. I mean, and that's the question is as you look at this, and we haven't even talked about Mike McCarthy's future, whether you bring Mike back or go with someone else, who is going to come in and make you better based on how you're doing business?
Yeah, I think the problem is the way that the Cowboys will view that is we're going to bring back Osa and Jordan Lewis, and that's our free agency. Oh my God. Like we're going to lose a bunch of guys, but we kept a couple of the ones we wanted to that are solid players, and that's our free agency.
They don't have depth in those positions. You don't have a choice.
They don't have depth anywhere.
I mean, I'm saying I was literally thinking about that the other day. Like with Osa, you don't have another 3-tech. Who's gonna be your foundational player to start? Like who are you gonna start? You don't even have starters.
Oh, they'll pick up a guy before camp that's half retired, and then they'll pick a guy in the 5th round, and then he'll be ready to rock, and we'll draft and develop those guys.
From
Joe,
from the best beat writer that we have here on this show.
I don't understand.
Joe Hoyt's reporting from the Star. He says Mike McCarthy still won't name a starting quarterback. FYI, he won't detail whether he plans to play both aside from what he said yesterday. We're working everywhere.
I like that big competitive advantage. You want to keep Washington on their heels.
You never know.
They don't know who to prepare for.
You never know.
Cooper Rush or Trey Lance.
Please.
It could go either way. Which one do you think is going to be the Cowboys' backup quarterback next year? On the record right now, which one's going to be the backup quarterback?
Cooper Rush.
Oh, Cooper Rush. I'm ready to upgrade.
I mean,
Trey Lance.
The whole conspiracy that they're saving Trey Lance and that makes no sense. It makes no sense that we're not playing Trey because we want to keep his money down so we can get him on the cheap. He's gonna be on the cheap anyway. Ain't nobody spending big money on Trey Lance.
You know why I think it might be Trey Lance.
Tell me.
Because if I've learned anything about the football team that I want to see win,
they like to fix people.
There's nothing more important than the pride and ego of the man in charge.
No.
If you give Trey Lance another contract, you say, see, that's why we traded for him. We knew that for a long time he could help us out. If he walks, then it's an admission that he can't play, which you've admitted all this year, but you haven't said it all the way out loud because he's around. You could continue to pretend that you didn't screw up.
Again, I hear you, but it depends on who the coach is. I mean, does this guy fit the scheme of the new coach? If there's a new coach, and if it's the current coach has basically told us all we need to know about what he thinks about Trey Lance.
I got a new plan.
Okay.
I got a new plan.
Okay.
Shout out to Vincent Pellegrini.
Yeah, Eagle fan.
He's an Eagle fan. So he loves our show, though.
Well, that's because your team's really good, and we just bitch about our team. So I bet you should get more Eagle fans to listen. I'm sure they'd love it. Yeah, you guys are doing great. Congrats. You guys are really wonderful.
What's your idea? Your diabolical
new plan.
I got a new plan.
Dak spend the next year and a half stretching, practicing running, things like that, limber up the body a little bit. Trey Lance, 1-year deal, $50 million.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to get tight against the cap, so I can't make the team better.
I should have known.
0-17. Arch Manning, number 1 pick. Now
we won't have jobs next year.
Now Dak could. Oh, when you're chasing that number 1 pick, that's good content.
We won't have.
Oh, that's good content. And then Dak could be the teacher for Arch Manning. And then while Steven owns the team, and they refuse to sign any free agents whatsoever, ever, and they raise prices at the stadium, then Arch Manning, with his greatness, despite bad ownership, wins us all the Super Bowls. Well, you don't believe in Arch, Clarence?
When you sign Arch, do you bring in Peyton Manning to be the head coach?
Yeah, if he wants.
All right.
Well, no, you bring in his dad. They say Cooper was the best Manning.
How you say it?
Athletically, no. Athletically.
He was the best.
Athletically. They lie.
Anytime something bad happens to a family member, you got to say that they were the best one because they don't have to prove it.
They lie.
Yeah, Cooper was the best Manning.
No, that plan was indeed diabolical, as I thought it would be.
What do you guys think about my plan? Do you guys like my plan?
Hated it.
Oh. One guy that I will still have eyes on this week that I wonder, are we too harsh? And I'm mostly talking to myself. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys lit another 4th-round pick on fire with the Jonathan Mingo trade. But also, like, he is the sort of guy that should play 60, 70 snaps this week. But it also, you still don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know there are people out there that are fans of Cooper Rush, but I don't think they're actually fans of Cooper Rush. I think they just hate Dak. It's not a clean or fair evaluation of the player you brought in when he's new here and he hasn't had an actual NFL quarterback throwing yet. And so I'm probably just using all of my anger and angst against the Cowboys and projecting some of it onto Mingo because, hey, get you some too because I'm pissed at everybody. But that's the sort of guy that I hope plays every single snap, and I hope he makes some plays. And it's probably too early to pretend that he can never help this team. But that is kind of where I've been for a while. You know?
No, I feel the same way. I've been sitting up here like, how do I evaluate this person? Is this fair? Learning the playbook, Jesse mentioned as well, having to come in the middle of the season and figure those things out. Yeah, we just going to have to wait on that, which sucks. We just going to have to wait on that.
What was the In Living Color reference?
In Living Color.
Oh. I don't remember In Living Color. Is that the one Jim Carrey was on?
Yes. Fire Marshal
Really?
Bill.
Oh,
Really?
Of all the names that you can name
Really?
on that show, you picked the
Well,
white
that
man.
was mighty white of you right there.
That was very white of you. That was
Jim Carrey was
very
that
white
guy.
of you. That was
He was
very,
one of the OGs.
very,
Yeah.
very Caucasian of you.
The Wayans brothers, you know do you know that that's the reason why we have a halftime show now?
I know the Wayans brothers, and I loved their show, but I'm not allowed to sing the theme song, I don't think.
Yeah, In Living Color.
We're brothers, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're giving me a high five.
Yeah, In Living Color, they did a show. They aired a show during halftime. It got so much attention, took so much eyes off of the actual Super Bowl at that time that the NFL was like, dang, we need to be able to compete with that. And that is the literal reason why we have halftime shows now in the NFL.
She's right.
Because of Jim Carrey?
No. Oh, my God.
Because he
Next
was
year like-
one of the originals.
Next year they were like,
But because
give me Michael Jackson.
Rosie Perez. I liked her on this show.
I love Pissed Off Jeffrey.
J-Lo.
I don't.
Yeah,
Vance, it's a lie. We all know you want to tank for the 2027 draft. Got hard eyes for Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State wide
He's
receiver.
so
He would be the top
good.
receiver in this draft and in so many other drafts, and he's 19 years old. Yes, I love tanking. I love tanking.
It's crazy. He's 19, and then the Ryan Williams kid from 17.
Day 17.
17.
It can be way different, right? Whether it's whatever, like in Allen, Texas, I will tell you, almost everybody
It's held back.
is held back.
I know.
At a very young age
So they can
to be better at high school sports. I was, as a junior,
held back.
I was never held back. As a junior, I was younger than every sophomore on our football team at Allen.
Right. They do that. Do that at South Lake. They do that, for athletic reasons.
Yeah, it's to be better at football because you want to be 18 instead of 17.
Jeremiah Smith, best freshman since Adrian Peterson.
Hell if I know.
God. I don't know.
Nathan
It's not
Peterson
fair.
was
I
a
had to
bad
think.
mofo as a freshman.
I'd have to think about it. Oh, we have to go also. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow. We have a show tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll
We
see you
do.
tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody, even Jerry, even if I'm not. Okay? We love you. Be easy.
Limited to contingency.
We all silly like the mayor.